Well, hello everyone. It's Aaron Davis here from Tropwater at James Cook University, and welcome to the first of our short online presentations, where we'll be, in this case, providing a bit of an introductory overview to Project Cane water quality monitoring. Project Cane grower meetings, but it's still probably worthwhile to revisit it as a bit of a refresher or to set the scene for a new audience. And in a nutshell, the water quality monitoring I'm going to be talking about in this presentation signals, I think, a really interesting and important shift towards making water quality monitoring more relevant and accessible to stakeholders. So a real shift from government and scientists to making water quality monitoring much more available and interesting to key stakeholders. So it really emphasises locally collected water quality data, collected in many ways in your own backyard. It emphasises program co-design with stakeholders and really delivering the data that's collected and coming out of that program back to stakeholders like primary industries in a timely and accessible manner. And with a lot of those characteristics in mind, most of what I'll be talking about today relates to what we're broadly calling real-time water quality monitoring. But it's basically high-frequency water quality monitoring using sensing technologies, and in this case, nitrate sensing technologies. And if you look at this map of the Lower Burdekin floodplain here, this is the township of Ingham here, around my mouse cursor, Abergarie up here. All of these green pins that you see here, these are real-time water quality monitoring stations that were installed and in fact are already operational and already feeding data in real time up onto the internet through the RP232 program. And I guess while they're slightly different and separate programs, they've basically got the same underlying intent, and that is to really characterise the water quality signal from a range of the different land use types that you find on the Lower Herbert floodplain, from rainforests through to urban areas, and obviously looking at sugarcane as well, being the primary agricultural commodity on the floodplain. So what does the data coming out of a real-time nitrate water quality monitoring program look like? It looks something like this. And this is how we tend to view or assess, interpret a lot of our data. And what we have here is about 2 months of record from just one of our sites, in this case in a predominantly sugarcane dominated subcatchment. So hopefully on the tray you can see this blue trace here being followed by my mouse cursor. That's our stream height, changes in stream height in meters here. And as you can see from the scale over here, they're probably not massive changes in stream height, still in the early stages of the wet season here, without too much in the way of really substantial rainfall and major flooding. And this dotted trace that you can see here in black, this is the data coming out of our nitrate sensors that are installed at our monitoring stations. And you can see here, it's in milligrams per litre. And you can see here, this trace here really tends to follow or mimic quite closely the data that we're getting following stream height. So whenever you get this sort of reasonably substantial rainfall totals, 100, 200 millimetres, you get your rises in stream flow, then you'll see your an associated rise in and fall in nitrate concentration, kind of tracking the changes in stream height. And that's telling us that the catchment, the water quality, is really responsive to rainfall, which probably isn't that surprising in many ways, but it's a really nice visual way of seeing it. Some other points to make here, these coloured dots. I won't worry about the green ones at the moment, that's ammonium. But just to let everyone know that we are collecting, I guess, more traditional, what we term discrete or grab water samples every few weeks or even more frequently, depending on the situation in the field. These are sent back to the laboratory, analysed sort of in a traditional way. And when we get the results back, usually a couple of months later, we can plot them here against our real-time station data, and you can see here that our nitrate concentrations in milligrams per litre, the orange dots, they match up fairly closely to our nitrate sensor data in milligrams per litre. So that's giving us quite a bit of faith and confidence that these the instruments, these sensors that we have out in the field are operating well and measuring what they're supposed to be measuring. The other point to make is that the data associated with the Queensland Government RP232 program is already live and it is already public. And it's just an example of some of the outputs that you see on the slide here. Hopefully this works, but I'll just show everyone how to access it yourself. You can just jump onto the internet, go to the HCPSL website. If you come over here to the water quality tab, down to the water quality management portal there, this should link you through to the CSIRO 1622 water quality web app. And using the map here, you can go down and click on Ingham. I've got a spatial map of where all the sampling stations are located out in the landscape. Click on this one here. What are we dealing with? So this is the real-time data feed from Ripple Creek at Seymour Gates. And we'll just sit here and wait while it loads. But this data is basically coming online and publicly available in real time. So you can see this is about the current date here. And the data is presented slightly differently to how I presented the previous slides from the Project Cane monitoring stations. But we've still got our nitrate concentrations here in milligrams per litre, you can see, and the stream level, or stream height in metres down here as well. You know, how people prefer to view this data is probably a matter of personal choice. I tend to like the overlay, the two traces, but regardless, you can see here that the same sort of information is available in real time in this case from the Queensland Government online water quality portal. I'll probably wrap things up here at this moment in time. One of the points I really want to emphasize is that the plan moving forward is to do a series of these sort of short presentations through time. You know, future presentations on working through some of the results that we're getting across all of the sites in our Project Cane water quality monitoring program, some of the different patterns and characteristics that we might see over the course of a wet season, some points of interest. And it's also the intent that we'll conduct some, I guess, interactive question and answer sessions a few weeks down the track after these have been online. So people can look at these sort of presentations here. If they've got any questions or think about something in the meantime, HCPSL will provide some details of an online session where I'll be available online to field any of these questions and hopefully, you know, answer some of them. So I'd encourage anyone that's interested to think about some of the things that you've seen in this presentation. Anything piques your interest or you think you'd like more information on, or I could explain a bit better, just let me know. So I'll leave it at that for the moment. Thanks for your time.